What if someone handed you $4 million and dared you to spend it on a car no one wants you to own? Most people would go straight for a Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. 1,500 horsepower, hand-built perfection, a rolling symbol of speed and status. But this story doesn't start with perfection. It starts with a wreck. Now picture this: a totaled Chiron, crushed, salt-stained, and forgotten in a Florida storage unit, bought anyway. Not to display, not to scrap, but to rebuild in a garden shed. That's exactly what Matt Armstrong did. And the moment he dragged that broken hypercar into the light, the internet exploded. Because this wasn't just another "I fixed a crashed supercar" video. This was war. On one side, a self-taught mechanic from Leicester with a camera and a toolkit. On the other, Bugatti, a billion-dollar fortress where even touching an engine without approval is almost unthinkable. And Bugatti didn't hesitate. They didn't just refuse to help, they made sure no one else could. The VIN? Blacklisted. A single digital move, and just like that, every authorized dealer on Earth was locked out. No parts, no support, not even something as small as a wiper blade. In Bugatti's world, that car was supposed to stay dead, but Matt had other plans. A Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport can hit 260 miles per hour. At that kind of speed, even a small mistake becomes deadly. A badly repaired carbon fiber monocoque or a slightly misaligned airbag isn't just a minor issue, it can cost a life. But instead of stopping the rebuild, Bugatti's reaction did the opposite. It turned the project into one of the most watched car series on YouTube. Then things got more serious. Mate Rimac, the CEO of Bugatti Rimac and one of the top engineers in the hypercar world, stepped in himself. No lawyers, no official statements, just a direct message to the public on social media. He explained why the rebuild worried him. One example stood out. During testing at -20°C, Bugatti engineers found that the leather on the dashboard could become so stiff that in a crash, the airbag might deploy the wrong way, pushing into the chest instead of protecting the head. Fixing that isn't simple. It requires a special internal process to thin the leather, something you can't just copy in a home garage. His point wasn't pride, it was pure engineering. Then he responded to the viral outrage over parts pricing. Yes, a headlight costs around £60,000, but according to him, that price reflects years of research and development, not just profit. Then came the offer. Bugatti proposed a heavily discounted factory rebuild, estimated between £600,000 and £700,000, with the car shipped to France for a certified repair. It sounded like help, but it was also a controlled ending. Because a quietly repaired Bugatti is just a press story. A destroyed hypercar rebuilt in a workshop in front of millions is something else entirely. So Matt Armstrong and the car's owner, Alex G., said no. Bugatti didn't back down. They locked the car's VIN and blocked access to the software needed to communicate with its systems. The goal was clear: make the car impossible to revive. But they underestimated one thing: creativity. When the gearbox mounts were found ripped out of the transmission, damage serious enough for Bugatti to call it a total loss, Matt's team didn't replace them. They scanned the broken parts, rebuilt them digitally, and machined brand new components from scratch. It wasn't just a repair, it was a workaround to a locked system, a digital jailbreak on a $4 million machine. Then came an even bigger discovery. As the teardown continued, Matt found that some parts, like sensors, the starter motor, and even parts of the airbag system, shared similarities with components used across the Volkswagen Group lineup. That includes everyday cars from Audi and Volkswagen. By matching part numbers, he sourced replacements for a fraction of the cost. Another claim soon fell apart. It had been said that the Chiron's chassis could only be separated using special tools at just 2 facilities worldwide. Matt's response? A simple setup, a dolly and a floor jack. And it worked. The entire powertrain separated cleanly from the car. In that moment, the only two places on Earth idea collapsed right there on a workshop floor. Then came the turning point. On March 9th, 2026, after weeks of resistance, custom engineering, and millions watching every step, Matt climbed back into the driver's seat of a car many believed would never run again. A machine written off by one of the most powerful names in the hypercar world was alive again. The W16 engine fired up, and this time it wasn't quiet or hesitant. No stutter, no warning signs, just a deep, aggressive roar that shouldn't have been heard. Loud, raw, and completely unapproved. Within hours, that sound spread everywhere online, impossible to ignore. In that moment, the system meant to stop it didn't work, the blacklist didn't hold, and the idea that some hypercars are beyond reach, that started to fall apart. At first glance, it might look like a simple underdog story, one guy in a small workshop taking on a giant brand, but this situation goes far beyond that. From Bugatti's side, their stance actually makes sense. They're responsible for building machines that meet extremely high safety and performance standards. Hundreds of customers paid millions for a Chiron, trusting it would be one of the safest and most perfectly engineered cars ever made. So when a damaged car is rebuilt with shortcuts, patched parts, welded sections, or swapped components from other models, it slowly weakens that promise. Seen from their perspective, this isn't inspiring, it's risky. A rebuilt hypercar pushing extreme speeds without factory approval could become a serious problem. But here's where things took a turn. Instead of working openly with the owner, Bugatti chose a different path. They treated the car like it still belonged to them, not the person who bought it. Then, rather than explaining their concerns clearly, they tried to make the car disappear from the digital world altogether. That decision changed everything. Suddenly, the story wasn't about fixing a broken car anymore. The question shifted. People stopped asking, can he rebuild it, and started asking, why are they trying to stop him? And once that question took over, the narrative slipped out of Bugatti's control. Because in today's world, people don't just watch, they take sides. Matt Armstrong didn't just stumble into this moment. He built his entire platform by doing what most high-end brands try to avoid, pulling back the curtain. He shows the hidden parts, the real process, and the things companies usually keep behind closed doors. So when this conflict went public, it wasn't just about one car anymore. It became something bigger, a clash between control and curiosity, between polished perfection and raw transparency. And once that kind of story starts, it doesn't fade quietly. He didn't begin with perfect cars. Instead, he went after broken ones, crashed Lamborghinis, a Rolls-Royce ruined by floodwater, even a smashed Porsche GT3 RS. And every time, the plan stayed the same. Take what others gave up on, rebuild it with pure determination, and show every step, the messy, stressful, and sometimes funny moments to the world. Through it all, he wasn't alone. Right beside him was his dad, Tony Armstrong, better known as Dad Strong, helping turn impossible jobs into real results. Matt didn't learn this in a classroom. His skills were shaped in a small garage, on a dirty floor, figuring things out the hard way. His slogan, "Hard work beats talent," isn't something he sells. It's exactly how he's built everything from scratch. Now, fast forward to mid-March 2026, the Chiron Pure Sport is alive. Will Bugatti ever take it back into their official network? No chance. Will it roll onto the lawn at a luxury car show? Not happening. In their system, it's still marked as a total loss, and that label isn't going anywhere. But outside their world, things look very different. This isn't just another Bugatti anymore. It's a story people watched unfold in real time, a car rebuilt in the open, against all odds, and even against the wishes of the people who made it. And because of that, it might mean more to people than a flawless factory version ever could. Even Matej Rimak has quietly taken notice. He's admitted how big this achievement really is, while still pointing out the risks. And maybe this story doesn't end in a fight after all. Maybe it ends in something neither side expected, a reluctant respect. Because when that W16 engine came back to life on March 9th, it proved something powerful. Not that Bugatti's engineering is weak, but that it's so strong, even a wrecked and rejected car can be brought back by someone who refused to quit. In the end, impossible wasn't a fact, it was just an opinion someone decided to believe.